Good morning. Half a day lesson mamai to all of you in the viewing public in the gallery and other social media platforms. Before we move forward, please put all your cell phones on silent mode or vibe. And with that, I now call this second day, fourth regular session to order. Please let us all rise for a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. I now recognize the clerk to please call the roll of attendance.
Representative Vada.
Present.
Representative Valdan. Representative Vato.
Present.
Representative Benavente.
Yeah.
Representative Angelo Camazzo.
Present.
Representative Diego Camazzo.
Present.
Representative Joao Camazzo.
Yeah.
Representative Vicente Camazzo.
Present.
Representative Castro.
Estiga.
Representative Joseph Flores. Representative Marissa Flores.
Present.
Representative Manglonia.
Present.
Representative Vogel.
Present.
Representative Omar.
Present.
Representative Probst. Representative Sablan.
Estiga.
Representative Cindy Claus.
Present.
Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Representative Yang Tamay.
Yang
Representative Yumo. Mr. Speaker, 17 members are present and 3 members are absent.
Thank you, Clerk. And with 17 present, that constitutes a quorum to move forward. Please let the record reflect that Representatives Yumo, Floor Leader Probst, and Representative Flores are hereby excused for today's session. And before we move forward, I'd like to recognize our acting floor leader for today will be Representative John Paul Sablan. And with that, I'd like to recognize the floor leader for the suspension of rules. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move to suspend Rule 3, Section 6, so that the House amends its agenda to include unnumbered bills and resolution not filed with the clerk's office 72 hours in advance when a notice for a session was given and posted. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made and has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Vada. Representative Valdan. Representative Vato.
Yes.
Representative Benavente.
Good.
Representative Angelo Camazzo.
Yes.
Representative Diego Camazzo.
Yes.
Representative Joao Camazzo.
Good.
Representative Vicente Camazzo.
Yes.
Representative Castro.
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores.
Yes.
Representative Manglonia.
Yes.
Representative Vogel.
Yes.
Representative Omar.
Hungan.
Representative Sablan.
Hungan.
Representative Cindy Claus.
Yes.
Representative Yang Tamay.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 17 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 17 members present voting yes, the motion carries. Thank you, everyone. And with that, we'll take a short recess for a resolution presentation. Short recess.
Mic check.
Ladies, please come forward. You have to dance forward. From WAO and CPA. I mean CPA, CWA, sorry.
All women present.
All women present, yes. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna make a little speech. On behalf of the rest of the members of the House of Representatives of the 23rd Legislature, the rest of the members are the 17 males. We three female representatives, Representative Marisa, Representative Julie, and yours truly, are honored to present these plaques of House Commemorative Resolution 23-9, honoring all women of the CNMI, to these beautiful representatives of the two awesome offices, the Women's Affairs Office and the Commonwealth Women's Association. These two offices have been working diligently towards advancing the women of the CNMI, both as leaders in the working world and as entrepreneurs. Congratulations to all, and please continue with what you are doing because we need more women in the legislature. Biba women. Biba Shabot. Biba Famalawan.
I'm nervous. I'm a nervous speaker.
Go ahead. Don't be nervous. We're all here. It's only 17 guys.
I have to prepare this because I'm very, I have a hard time speaking in public. So, good morning. My name is Dorsha Moreno, and I am the president of the CNMI Women's Association. It is with great honor and gratitude that I stand before you today to express our deepest thanks for the tremendous support we have received from the House of Representatives and especially from Representative Danita Yangtamay, Senator Selena Babalta, and Edith De Leon Guerrero, as well as the invaluable contributions of the Women's Affairs Office. Your generous support was instrumental in the success of the 10th Annual Women's Summit, which was not just a gathering, but a celebration of strength, resilience, and achievements of women across our islands. Through your contributions, you have demonstrated your unwavering commitment to advancing women's interests and the power of government and community partnerships in creating meaningful change. The Women's Affairs Office played a crucial role in bringing the summit to life, providing guidance, resources, and advocacy that helped shape the event into a powerful platform for dialogue and action. The office's dedication to women's issues is a testament to the importance of institutional support in ensuring that the voices and concerns of women are not only heard, but acted upon. Government involvement in championing women's interests is vital. It ensures that our voices are heard and our concerns are addressed at the highest levels. Your collective support sends a powerful message that the women of our community are valued and that their contributions are indispensable indispensable to the progress of our society. When our government leaders and offices like yours stands with the community and advocates for equality, opportunity, and empowerment, we all benefit. A special thank you to Representative Yang Tamai for presenting the proclamation plaque to the CNMI Women's Association. This plaque symbolizes more than just recognition. It represents a shared commitment between our organization and the government to continue working towards a brighter future for the women in the CNMI. On behalf of the Women's Association, I want to express our deep appreciation for your unwavering support and dedication. We look forward to continuing this important partnership alongside the Women's Affairs Office as we strive together to make a lasting impact on the lives of women in our community. Thank you.
Okay, I guess Ms. Dorsha had said it all. And yes, indeed, the Women's Affairs Office under the Office of the Governor collaborates with all partnership on all levels of nonprofit organizations and other community outreach within the government as well. So again, as what she has said, it's a working group together with the legislature. Women empowerment is the key, and without a strong women in the household, there's, you know what I mean, gentlemen. But again, thank you all for assistance. Have a great afternoon. No, day and happy. Yeah. Oh, Labor Day. That's right. Yeah.
This is our thank you so much.
Well said. Well said. You guys okay to see Mayor?
Well, see, Mayor.
I want to say a few words.
Okay, over here. Here's the mic.
Okay, first of all, I want to make a short joke. I'm a retired assistant chief of police before I become a mayor. And I named my wife the general. So assistant chief is below the general. So that's how strong the women's. I don't know if you guys witnessed or read in the newspaper that the mayor been calling all different groups to link up, to connect each other. First, I call the religion leaders. Second, I call the different ethnic group. And third, I'm working now for the last precinct 5 business community. So I'm done with business community in precinct 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I want to link up to this Women's Association for the betterment of the community so we can all drive forward to execute this plan of action that developed by the mayor of this municipality. So again, I want to commit myself to the Women's Association for the betterment of this community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Anybody else? And we're back in session. Before we went on recess, of course, we did the resolution presentation to honor and recognize the Women's Association and the Women's Affairs Office and all the hardworking women in our community. We now move down to item number 2, public comments. And with that, the podium is open. You'll be given 5 minutes. Please state your name and the entity you represent. And please try to keep the comments around the today's agenda. Thank you. Podium's open.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable representatives. My name is Vin Armani. I'm the founder of Badger LLC, a software company operating in CNMI since 2021. Today, I'm honored to have the opportunity to give public comment to this distinguished body, not only as a business owner and entrepreneur who believes in the promise of mutual prosperity for CNMI and members of the global digital economy, such as myself, but as a husband and father who has made the choice to raise my family in the Commonwealth. I last appeared before this august body to give public comment on the occasion of the introduction of House Bill 23103 to amend 4 CMC Section 1305 to exempt export services and the sale or exchange of securities and other similar assets from gross revenue tax. And just a little off, I know that the description there, which this bill that you'll be voting on today says to exempt services, it doesn't include exports. But I did want to, so that everybody was sure on what exactly was meant by this bill and why it's important. What it's looking to do is to exempt just services that are exported, meaning where the buyer is outside of CNMI, something that we already do for goods in this case, and that has always been done in the Commonwealth for goods. But just even as an example of Congressman Manglonian, he's wearing his wonderful brand. If he's to sell that jacket to someone outside of CNMI, right now we do not charge a BGRT on that. It's exempt, and we're advocating for us to have more exports, and that's a wonderful thing. But were his company to sell graphic design services to literally the same customer, we would disincentivize them by charging them 5% BGRT on that. So there's an opportunity here with this to really incentivize more businesses to come. And in the several months since I was here, I'm happy to report that my company, the Saipan team, with our initiative, the Saipan team, we're bringing more tax-paying digital businesses to the Commonwealth. At this very moment, in fact, we have multiple foreign businesses in various filing stages for their business formation and licensing. Thanks to the leadership at Bank of Saipan, we've been able to attract businesses, companies that are formed in Marshall Islands, Singapore, mainland states. They're being processed right now at the Department of Commerce and Department of Finance, taking advantage of U.S. banking by becoming registered foreign businesses in the Commonwealth. I actually have one right here. This is from Marshall Islands. New certificate of formation for a brand new business. They were formed in Marshall Islands, but they decided that they wanted to come here. Their fees are paid in the Treasury. And we have more of these right now, and we're bringing them here, right? So we can sell CNMI in this way. And this will just help us. We're already bringing them. Your vote of yes today is going to help us to accelerate that process and not just get their fees, but get their income taxes too. That's what we're looking to do in this case. So the companies that we're attracting, they are providers of digital services and they are securities trading firms. These companies have low profit margins and so they're currently reluctant to source their income here because our gross revenue taxes create an effective tax rate for them that's more than they would pay even if they were in the mainland US. So they can't take advantage of our tax rebate. However, when HB 23103 is passed into law, these businesses, they've all expressed their eagerness to source as much of their income as possible to the Commonwealth. To be clear, just so that we're clear, we currently have none of these businesses in the Commonwealth. We're currently getting exactly $0 in income tax from these industries because they lose money sourcing income here as versus even any of the 9 US states that don't have a state income tax. But immediately with the passage of this into law, CNMI will be catapulted above those 9 states immediately in terms of attractiveness, tax attractiveness. So it's a big deal, and it represents a meaningful step in the direction of economic diversification, but it doesn't come at the expense of any of our existing industries or any of our efforts to help support those industries in these trying economic times. So In this case, we can grow the number of taxpayers. If we can grow the number of taxpayers, perhaps we can prevent having to increase taxes. And as a Commonwealth, we have nothing to lose and everything to gain from this minor and straightforward amendment. And so I urge you to please vote yes today on Bill HB 23-103. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The podium's still open for public comments.
My name is Joshua Cook. I own and operate a consulting business called Pacific Pact here in the CNMI. I also own another business in the United States. In my last trip to the 50 states, I had the opportunity to speak with some very successful business owners and friends of mine. One of them had just sold their business for $10 million, roughly. Another one is operating a business that's making many millions per year in profit. With the current way the BGRT affects a business that is trying to grow can be illustrated with some simple math. While 5% for an individual when you're looking at income tax isn't a lot, for a business, a lot of businesses, a majority of businesses are operating with a 15, 20, 25% profit margin. So when you have this revenue tax and not a tax on profits, then you have a very high effective tax rate. So if a company that is operating on a 15% profit margin before tax has a 5% BGR, they're being taxed 30% of their profits. So why would a company that is getting 30% of their profits taxed want to come when they would be paying 30% in the CNMI when they could be paying 21% in the United States on their effective corporate tax rate? So these businesses that I was speaking to were very excited to hear, because I had previously talked to them about CNMI's tax laws and the BGR tax. They're excited about the other tax benefits in the CNMI, but the BGR is a game changer. It prevents them from the economics of it does not make sense for them. So I'm here to, like Vin, request that we incentivize businesses who otherwise could not afford to come to the CNMI to come here and pay taxes. They will still pay taxes. It just won't be the BGR tax. And additionally, if a business, let's say a $10 million a year business, makes $3 million in profit, and they want to invest some of that $3 million, let's say $2 million, in growing, then their effective corporate tax rate then becomes 50% with the BGR, because they're going to be paying $500,000 when they only profited $1 million. So there's not an incentive to invest in a business to grow that business when we have as this BGR creating an effective corporate tax rate that's higher than what they would pay in the States. So these companies, they're ready to come to the CNMI. They want to come to the CNMI. They want to source as much revenue as they can from the CNMI, through the CNMI. And this bill, House Bill 23-103, will allow them to do that and will help create that incentive for them to come. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Again, the podium is open for public comments.
Hi, my name is India Staunton. I've spent the last 14 years working in global investment banking in London in the United Kingdom with notable companies including Aragos, which is owned by Deutsche Bank, and also Providence Equity. I have come before the honourable body today to speak to you in support of House Bill 23-103 and to share from my experience why I believe the passage of this bill is clear and a positive step towards encouraging financial companies to make CNMI their home. The UK is one of the most open, innovative and dynamic financial service sectors in the world. London is one of the top financial centers that there is. It successfully competes against New York and also Tokyo. It is an unrivaled leader in the European financial market, and it attracts global companies and top talent from across the world too. The UK's success is attributed to several factors: a long history as a financial centre, an open market economy, political stability, and a skilled and educated labour force. Financial service companies and related industries also have the option of offshore operations in select jurisdictions as well. Mainland UK has crown dependencies, Jersey, Guernsey, and also the Isle of Man. The three dependencies each have their own political, legal, and fiscal systems separate from the UK. Basing their businesses in crown dependencies gives UK financial companies clear advantages, especially when it comes to taxes. CNMI has a similar relationship in terms of tax benefits to the mainland US, granting it similar powers of Jersey, Guernsey, and also the Isle of Man. Taking a closer look at Jersey, Jersey is considered one of the most economically successful offshore financial centres in the world. The territory is considered an extension of the City of London. It is home to some of the best and most trusted global banking organisations in the world. In the second quarter of 2020, the total value of banking deposits held in Jersey is £141 billion. 33,186 live companies are on the Jersey register currently. There are 13,450 jobs accounted for in financial services in Jersey alone. The Royal Bank of Canada had 900 staff employed in Jersey, which was dated 2009. Creating attractive opportunities for financial and related professional services industries would create positive and economic social impact for the CNMI. Focusing efforts to strengthen alliances with the financial sector by revising HB 23-103 would result in the highest industry profitability and growth for the CNMI. Regardless of the state of the economy, this should be an absolute priority and is one of your greatest opportunities for growth. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The podium is still open for public comments. Okay, with nothing further, we'll now move down to item number 3, adoption of journals. We have none. Item number 4, introduction of bills. As mentioned earlier, we suspended the rules to amend the agenda, so please raise your hand. I see Representative TJ Manglonia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You want me to go first? Oh, okay, thank you. Introducing House Bill 23-117, a bill for an act to mandate the implementation of a digital program to streamline business licensing and permits in the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Sponsored by myself, Congressman Angelo, and open to any others. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Manglonia. House Bill number 23-117 will be referred to the Committee on Commerce and Tourism. Any other unnumbered bills or bills that did not make the 72-hour cut? Okay, with nothing further, we now move down to House local bills. And with that, I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move to suspend Rule 8, Section 1. So move.
Thank you. A motion has been made by the floor leader for the suspension of Rule 8, Section 1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, all in favor for the motion, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you. And with that, I now recognize Representative Julie Ogle.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like to offer a House local bill for an act number 23-61 to appropriate $155,000 for the continued operation and regulatory oversight of the Rhoda Casino Gaming Commission. Thank you. Pre-filed by myself.
Thank you, Representative Julie Ogle. Now I'd like to recognize Representative BJ Attal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Formally introducing House Local Bill 23-62, to appropriate $2,500,000 from revenues collected pursuant to Saipan Local Law 11-2 as amended and for other purposes, introduced by myself and several others, and I welcome all the members from the SNIL delegation to co-sponsor the legislation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Atal. I now recognize Leader San Nicolas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is to officially introduce House Local Bill 23-63. It's to appropriate $10,000 allotted under TNL Local Law 23-13 and $114 from revenues collected from poker fees and since in the second senatorial district and for other purposes, pre-filed by myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader San Nicolas. And just to clarify, that's 114,000, right? Not $1,414.
Oh, 100 and, yeah.
114,000.
$114,000, Mr.
Okay.
Speaker.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the correction.
Okay, because I mean that's something we could just pull out of our wallet right now and just give to you. All right, thank you. Any more local bills? Ready? Okay, we'll now move down to
Mr. Speaker.
Recognize Leader San Nicolas.
I have unnumbered bills to be introduced.
Under House bills or
House local
Okay,
bill.
please proceed. The floor is
Okay,
yours.
thank you. This is an unnumbered local bill is to amend TNL Local Law 23-09 for other purposes. And if I may, Mr. Speaker, continue to appropriate $94,991 for $94,091 for the personnel and operation of the TNL Casino Gaming Control Commission, pre-filed by myself. And that will be all, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Representative San Nicolas. Please give that to the clerk now for proper filing and numbering. Thank you. And with nothing further, we now move down to introduction of resolutions, item number 5, and I recognize Representative Maglonia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introducing House Resolution 23-24, a House resolution to recognize the Saipan Awidori team for their efforts in representing the Commonwealth in various festivities throughout the Pacific, pre-filed by myself and open to anyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Maglonia. And if there's no objection from you, the author, if we can introduce this as a committee of the whole.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And with no objection, colleagues, we're all good. House Resolution number 23-24 is hereby introduced by the Committee of the Whole and will be placed on the calendar, but for action in our next session. We now move down to House Joint Resolution, and I recognize myself. House Joint Resolution 23-4 to recognize and acknowledge the National Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, ESGR, and the Guam CNMI ESGR State Committee and their volunteer members for their exceptional service and commitment to our servicemen and women, and to thank and appreciate our civilian employers for their utmost support to our service members by recognizing the week of August 12th through August 16th, 2024 as Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve Week, introduced by myself and several others, and with no objection, I'd like to have this introduced as the Committee of the Whole.
No objection.
No objection. Okay, thank you. And this will be placed on today's calendar for action. Any further under House resolutions or resolutions in general? Nothing? Ready? Okay. We'll move down to item number 6, messages from the governor, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 6, messages from the governor, we have Governor's Communication 23-118, 119, and 120.
Thank you, clerk. Any discussions under messages from the governor? Ready? Okay, under Governor's Communication 23-120 regarding Executive Order 2024-008, I will refer that to the Committee on JGO. Thank you. The executive order will take effect on October 8th. So if any action would be recommended from the committees, that's the deadline. Okay, thank you. And with nothing further under messages from the governor, we move to Senate communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time,
The clerk, floor leader.
I move.
The clerk, floor leader.
Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 7, Senate Communications, we have Senate Communications 108 through 119. 112.
Thank you, Clerk. And with that, I'll recognize the floor leader for the proper motions.
Thank you, and I apologize, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I move that the House accept Senate Communications 23-108 through 23-112 so that it becomes the property of the House. So
Mr.
moved.
Speaker, point of clarification.
Recognize
I
Rep.
think
Abdo.
we're only supposed to be accepting 23-109 through 23-112 because we're going to be rejecting 23-108. Is that correct?
Okay. A quick recess. Before we went on recess, we were under Senate Communications, and there was a motion made by the floor leader and a point of clarification brought up by Representative Atau regarding the action on Senate Communications, and we clarified that process. So with that, I would like to ask we will go ahead and move forward with that motion to accept. And can I get a second? Okay. A motion has been made by the floor leader to accept Senate Communications so that they become property of the House, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor for the motion, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Under Senate Communication 23-108, we will place that on the bill calendar for action today. The other Senate Communications 23-109, 110, and 111 are for information purposes. And Senate Communications 23-112, referring to Senate Bill 23-11, Senate Draft 1, will be referred to the Committee on JGO. Okay. Any further discussions? Ready? Ready? Okay, we'll move down to item number 8, House Communications, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 8, House Communications, we have House Communications 23-140 through 23-147.
Thank you, Clerk. Any discussions under House Communications? Ready? Okay, thank you, members. We now move down to item number 9, Communications from the Judicial Branch. We have none. Item number 10, Communications from Departments and Agencies. We have none. Item number 11, Miscellaneous Communications. I recognize the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Under item 11, Miscellaneous Communications, we have Miscellaneous Communication 2388, 89, and 90.
Thank you, Clerk. Any discussions under Miscellaneous Communications? Ready? Okay, under Miscellaneous Communication 23-90, referring to the Youth Congress Bill number 19-01, Youth Congress Draft 1, entitled to require all public schools within the CNMI elementary, middle, and high school to teach at least one full year of the Chamorro and/or Carolinian languages and for other purposes, which was passed on August 17th, 2024. That communication will be referred to the Committee on Education. With nothing further, we now move down to item number 12, reports of standing committees, and I recognize the clerk.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Under item 12, reports of standing committees, we have one committee report for action, Standing Committee Report 2384.
Thank you, Clerk. I now recognize the floor leader for the proper motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-84, reporting on House Bill number 23-42, entitled to amend procedures for the preliminary hearing in a criminal case. Your House Committee on Judicial and Governmental Operation recommends that the House pass the bill in the form of House Bill number 23-42, House Draft 1. So move.
Thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of Standing Committee Report 23-84, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Ready? Okay. All in favor to adopt Standing Committee Report 2384, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you, colleagues. We have nothing further under reports of standing committees. We move down to item number 13, reports of special and conference committees. We have none. Item number 14, unfinished business. We have none. Item number 15, resolution calendar. I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First on our resolution calendar, I make a motion that we adopt House Resolution number 23-23, a House resolution supporting the passage of HR 8786 in the U.S. Congress, as well as urging the Department of Transportation and the Federal Aviation Administration to grant transportation and cabotage exemptions for the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands and Guam to enhance economic development and connectivity within the Pacific region. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of House Resolution number 23-23, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, all in favor for the motion to adopt, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Resolution is hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. Floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And last on our resolution calendar, I make a motion to adopt House Joint Resolution number 23-4, a House Joint Resolution to recognize and acknowledge the national employer support of the Guard and Reserve ESGR and the Guam Sinamay ESGR State Committee and their volunteer members for their exceptional service and commitment to our servicemen and women, and to thank and appreciate our civilian employers for their utmost support to our service members by recognizing the week of August 12th through August 16th, 2024 as Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve Week. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the adoption of House Joint Resolution number 23-4, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fava?
Yes.
Representative Faldan? Representative Atal?
Yes.
Representative Benavente?
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho?
Okay.
Representative Vicente Camacho?
Yes.
Representative Castro?
I'm good.
Representative Marissa Flores?
Yes.
Representative Maglonia?
Yes.
Representative Fogo?
Yes.
Representative Omar?
I'm good.
Representative Sablan?
Ungan.
Representative St. Nicholas?
Yes.
Representative Yangtamay?
Aware.
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 17 members present voted yes.
Thank you, clerk. With all 17 members present voting yes, House Joint Resolution number 23-4 is hereby adopted. Thank you, colleagues. We now move down to bill calendar, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First in our bill calendar, I move for the passage of House Bill number 23-103, a bill for an act to amend 4 CMC subsection 1305 to exempt services and the sale or exchange of securities and other similar assets from gross revenue tax, to amend 4 CMC subsection 1708 to allow rebates for exempted activities and for other purposes. So move.
Thank you, floor leader. A motion has been made for the passage of House Bill number 23-103, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Recognize Representative Manny Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. I just wanted to say, given in light of the current economic situation, I ask for for the passage of House Bill 23-103. This bill doesn't intend to move away from any of the existing industries, but it intends to help further economic growth and activity. One of the biggest challenges for any small or big business coming into the CNMI is our policies. And if we want to help bring in more business so that it can help our community grow. In the past, we had the garment industry that was coming in. With the garment industry, it brought in a lot of benefits, not only in terms of GDP, but it also improved government services via taxes. But The garment industry also had a negative effect on our community. It took away a lot of resources. It required a lot of infrastructure. It was a big burden on our sewer system. It was a big burden on other infrastructure projects. Given the situation we have limited natural resources available on island. So there's not a lot of industries that can invest here. But the benefit of this bill, it entices industries, digital industries, with one of the biggest gross profit margins. It allows our community to diversify our economy, which would in turn improve all public and community activities on our island. So I please ask for your support to help stir up more economic activities so that it can benefit our community in terms of jobs, in terms of programs and services. I also would like to commend Representative TJ for the introduction of his bill, which is also aligned to a lot of the challenges that we are facing. So if we want to bring more people to invest into the Commonwealth, we have to take a look at our policies and improve them so that it's more beneficial to the stakeholders. Thank you again, Mr. Speaker and members.
Thank you, Representative Manny Castro. Floor is still open for discussions. Ready? Okay, and with no further discussions, Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fata,
Yes.
Representative Faudon, Representative Fatau,
Yes.
Representative Benavente, Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Good.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Yes.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Gloria,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Good.
Representative Sablan,
Ungan.
Representative Nicolas,
Yes.
Representative Yang Tamay.
Oh, well.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all 17 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 17 members present voting yes, House Bill number 23-103 hereby passes the House. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Next on our bill calendar, I move for the passage of House Bill number 23-42, House Draft 1, a bill for an act to clarify procedures for preliminary hearing. So move.
Thank you for the second. I was waiting for that. A motion has been made by the floor leader to pass House Bill number 23-42, HD1, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? Okay, Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fata,
Yes.
Representative Faudon, Representative Fatau,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
Good.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Good.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Good.
Representative Marissa Flores,
Yes.
Representative Maglonia,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
Good.
Representative Sablan,
Ungan.
Representative Nicolas,
Yes.
Representative Yang Tamay.
Oh, well.
Mr. Speaker,
Hungan.
Mr. Speaker, all 17 members present voted yes.
Thank you, Clerk. With all 17 members present voting yes, House Bill number 23-42, House Draft 1 hereby passes the House. Thank you, Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And last on our bill calendar, I move to reject House Bill number 23-97, Senate Draft 1, a bill for an act to amend certain provisions of the Commonwealth Public Utilities Commission Act of 2006 and for other purposes. So move.
Yes. Okay. To further clarify the motion to go.
And that the Speaker will create a conference committee. So move.
Okay, thank you, Floor Leader. A motion has been made for the rejection of House Bill number 23-97 SD1 and to move into conference, and it has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Fata, Representative Faudon, Representative Fatal,
Yes.
Representative Benavente,
I'm good.
Representative Angelo Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Diego Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Joel Camacho,
Okay.
Representative Vicente Camacho,
Yes.
Representative Castro,
Yes.
Representative Joseph Mercer Flores,
Yes.
Representative Magloria,
Yes.
Representative Vogel,
Yes.
Representative Omar,
I'm good.
Representative Sablan,
I'm good.
Representative Nicolas,
No.
Representative Yantamay.
Awe.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 16 members voted no and 1 member voted, 16 members voted yes and 1 member voted no.
Okay, thank you, Clerk, and thank you for that clarification. With 16 members voting yes, the motion hereby carries. And with that, I will put out a memo after the session appointing the conferees from the House regarding House Bill 23-97 and Senate Draft 1. Okay? And with that, that takes care of our bill calendar. We now move down to items number 17, miscellaneous business, and the floor is open for under miscellaneous business. Floor is open. Recognize Chairwoman Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to make some comments. I know that the Garapan Street Market opened last night on its first day, and there seems to be some concerns with parking and which entity is now responsible to ensure that there is streamlined and adequate parking for this particular zone. As Rep. Castro mentioned, that a lot of these concerns and issues stem from policy. And I know that the zoning board had met yesterday and will be meeting next week again. I highly encourage the businesses from Precinct 3, especially in that zone, to please make yourselves available and attend their meeting, express your sentiment. It will be on next week, I believe, September 4 at 2 o'clock at the Multipurpose Center. On another note, we've come across several businesses that have come and either made some phone calls or visited my office. And it seems that there's a lack of pride and a lack of sense of duty, as every agency, whether it be the executive branch, the legislature, and the judiciary, we all have a responsibility and we all have to do our part in ensuring that we take care of our Commonwealth, that everyone within these branches of government is a public servant, and the offices in which they represent should be acknowledged and accepted as a opportunity to place your agency and your institution and your job with the highest integrity and with the deepest respect, so that businesses are not afraid to have an open discussion about what might not work in terms of policy and regulations. And so I highly encourage all the agencies to please exercise and be responsible and hold your positions and your agencies with dignity and pride, because we are all public servants trying to do our best so that we can make our Commonwealth better. May I continue, Mr. Speaker? Also, once again, we are faced with the healthcare network program shortage of funds. And I cannot express how important supporting this program is. When this bill was passed, it lacked a funding source. And we're still trying to ensure that we fund it, because the stakeholders are our relatives, our parents, our nieces, our nephews, our brothers, and our sisters. But I ask for the first and the second senatorial district to also help the third senatorial district and commit to supporting the healthcare network program, as this problem is not just a third senatorial district problem. We all have the members of our communities that are affected by the lack of adequate health care in their respected jurisdictions. So I ask our great representative from Senatorial District 2, Rep. Patrick St. Nicholas, he just moved some bills that appropriate some money to certain agencies in his district. And I ask that if he can advocate with his municipality leaders to put some money aside for the H&P program and commit with your delegates to continue to commit to put into the health network program. The third senatorial district, with the rest of the SNILD members, have greatly put its funds to support all people in all districts. And so I ask Rep. Julie and Rep. San Nicolas to please commit to that, work with your delegation, and ensure that there are funds saved so that when this issue arises, and we know it will arise again, that there's money for those two senatorial districts to put in as well, so that we help each other as representatives for the entire Commonwealth, including your districts. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield.
Thank you, Representative Marissa Flores. Recognize Representative Julie.
Thank you, Speaker. And thank you, Rep. Marisa, for bringing that issue up and concern. And I do, with the discussion in our leadership, the commitment from the first senatorial has been shared, and I've committed myself to advocate for, assistance in that funding with any future appropriation from the first senatorial district. We really appreciate the third senator district that has been coughing up the fundings to support the healthcare network program to include patients from the island of Rhoda. And I've made that commitment, and I would assure that we'll do that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ogo. I recognize Representative Yanktamay.
Sorry, I just want Rep. Marisa to repeat the time for the one at the multi-purpose, please. Thank you.
It will be on September 4th, 2 o'clock at the Multipurpose Center.
Okay, Representative Malcolm Omar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to touch on the introduction of House Local Bill 2362 for appropriations, and I'd like to thank the author and co-sponsors especially. We've all had calls ourselves to personally and to our offices about the need to support the H&P program, the medical referral program. And just recently, because of the shortfall and the third quarter cuts that we're all experiencing, the government as a whole, there's been a suspension on stipend for patient escorts. It's just for the escorts at this time, but I feel also the need to ask for continued support from the whole CNMI as a whole, each central district, to contribute to the H&P, because it serves not just Saipan residents or Saipan patients, but everyone as a whole. And the thing with even what little we have, the H&P continues to be underfunded, and just this body, this legislature, the 23rd House, have already given just under $2 million, but still continue to try to scrape up what we have left to continue to support the program and the patients, especially the CHCC and the public health as a whole has been campaigning for years on preventative health care. And just recently in my participation with MILA and APIL, it seems like the whole region has been advocating for preventative health care. And we as a people here in the CNMI should start or actively look into preventive healthcare to create a more healthy community, to prevent with what little resources our hospital offers and stuff. And it's just, we need to do our part also to help our society, help our community. I read recently in one of their ad campaigns for CHCC Public Health that the average bitter nut chewer consumers here spend up to $2,000 a year. And I myself, I use the substance and stuff, but just the breakdown from tobacco to each element of the bitter nut, I'm thinking myself, geez, that's a lot of money that could be in my own pocket. But again, for the community as a whole, we hear your sentiments, we hear your frustrations, and I just want to ask that we do our part also to lead a healthy lifestyle, an active lifestyle, to be a healthier and greater community, I guess. But, the calls we get and the demands they ask, especially to support off-island patients, I plead with you for your indulgence and patience. But as it does come along, that we do address these issues. It's not a quick fix. It's not a one-time deal, right? But we're trying our best. And I thank you and I urge you to continue to call and bring up questions and concerns, because only then that's how we know how to address them well. Right? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And again, thank you, colleagues.
Thank you, Representative Omar. Recognize Representative Roman Benavente.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Samidul Allo Bifino Chamoro, Dabe Sangan Uzo. Tatunga pa ako na momento na i-fengkosta gini kita maranas mampus no takpapa. Zaman chatsasagay tauto, bula man chatsaga na tauto. Pues, guau gija hululu waatan inim lota, gini. Ispitada ni sita juruta monisinya. Tatunga na tawde sa lapi kumindamento no tinahunga na oholum sofa podung ekonomia. Lo talu i mos todung dan mos no makan na pinadisi gini gi spitata i jisay tauta ni manafanahono para off-island. Gi September 1st para timway junyan man makodi junyan ni stipend. Tawza sta no ajudu nijo. Ja makat para familia, ano jika familia makat. Pues gini ninno na ufafaisin namja todo na malaja ta fanajara. Data spempenyo after manon ita spotay ispitata. Sa inigi mas za hululu tilele ko po dafa. Guaha gwini masusedi gwini esti 2 días malofan nisita cancer patient nisita ma MRI. Esta gagi MRI kita saipan. Lo timunan na dyan matsogwi building ni para ma-house MRI. Pues i-spitat anahono i patient para guam. Jagwam ni po may MRI. Safa tawadza tinahungin no. Fingkas story ni para tatsogwi. Pues inigi siya na problema ta fafana magi lo. Kumu malu ni MRI. Kumu matutun matsogwi MRI saipan. Man safe salapi spitat. Mono isinya. Tinisaris ta fanapasi pero ano para guam. pat para Honolulu, pat para Los Angeles, pat Mount Mono. Izigi na mampu si putanti na gipago na momento, tas empeño, ja magov joloki na i delegation, ta introduce no salapi ni para ta ajuda, lokwi i baju di hospital sa administrasyon, tinahong nga ni pud para suporta lo i-delegation, saipan delegation. Mana ajuda, ja ta ajuda, ja ta noai watu. Salapi ni ji purohin ajuda mo na kinalamtin niya. Ja pwede amon man mauling mo na todo dui i tau-tauta gini ni ji sinya mana fanono. Sa makadili na ala. Lo wenoa, jao na bituka no Mr. Speaker, si Jus Mosi.
So Masi, Representative Benavente. I recognize Representative Marissa Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And just on the last note, and I just wanted to add to what Rep. Omar said in regard to the H&P. Last week, when this notice came to the legislature about the H&P program stopping the subsistence due to lack of funding, I'd like to make it very clear, especially to the CHCC board, that if you are to make and approve a notice like that, to please exercise some sensitivity. Since CHCC is a champion of mental health awareness, then at least practice some empathy when you are informing these patients who are off island receiving these types of services. There's other ways to relay that message, but through a letter, sending it off by email, whatever means they did that, I think that shows a lack of empathy to our patients who are out there, because they didn't ask to be out there. They're there because we cannot provide adequate health care. So I ask the board that when they are to decide on how this message is going to be conveyed, to at least practice some sensitivity when informing these patients who are off island. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield.
Thank you, Representative Marissa Flores. Representative TJ Manglonia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I just wanted to acknowledge again the author of House Bill number 23-103, Rep. Manny Castro. Thank you for finding ways to provide more flexibility with our tax system. I think that's what we need. We all understand the economic situation. Everybody's struggling, including businesses. So what we need to do is provide more or have more collaboration, create more of a partnership between our government entities and our businesses. And like Rep. Marissa mentioned, all these agencies that go out there and enforce and work with our businesses, please be a proper representation, because at the end of the day, we collect the BGRT from businesses. It's a pure tax, and businesses are struggling just like everybody else. So like the bill that I introduced today to help streamline and provide a more streamlined way to get our business license and permitting. If we want to demand more from our businesses, we need to create more of a higher service, provide more of an exceptional service to our businesses. And that way, like I said, it creates partnership, it creates collaboration. And if we work together with our business sector and with our private sector, and we work all together across the board, we can get through this economic recession. I know it. We all just need patience with each other and more collaboration, not just between the government sector and the private sector, but also within our government agencies and permitting agencies. And that's what I hope to accomplish through the bill that I just introduced today, is to provide more clarity across all permitting agencies and business license. So that way there could be less frustration, and we can also entice more businesses to want to come and pop up. The sooner that we can get more businesses up and operational, the sooner that we can collect taxes from them. That's the bottom line. And I thank you all, my colleagues, for recognizing that and for working together. We all understand that the tax system it's really way outdated, and it needs to be revised top to bottom. And it's not going to happen overnight, but if we work together, we can get it done. So thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, and happy Labor Day to all our government employees, our hardworking government employees. I want to thank you for your service, your public service, and to everybody here also within the legislature. Happy Labor Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Manglonia. The floor is still open under miscellaneous. Recognize Representative Manny Castro.
Thank you, Speaker, and also thank you, Rep. TJ, for always introducing a lot of bills that I think like we're on the same page when it comes to helping to ensure efficient government services. And again, happy Labor Day to all our workers out there, and especially in the business community, the private sector. But yes, we do have a lot of policies that need to be changed. We've also introduced a bill earlier, which is I think still in a committee to eliminate the need for certain permitting. I mean, we have some of our processes are tedious. You have buildings that have been in existence, and then when they need to do a renovation, we have to go through the permitting process again. We need to deregulate a lot of these processes that, especially now, in line with what Rep. Malcolm Omar mentioned about preventive and proactive a healthy lifestyle. I want to thank the Department of Public Works and the administration for really pushing through with the Beach Road project and creating sidewalks so that we can move forward in a healthy culture of walking. And thanks, Rep. Yangtimay, for your excitement. But I just wanted to, end my statement with a quote from President Abraham Lincoln. And yes, he is a Republican, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good quote. Like, so it was way back when President Abraham Lincoln was the best way to predict the future is to create it. And this is what we're doing today. So we have the ability to change the narrative that's being out there in the community. And even though the economic situation isn't the greatest, but most Fortune 500 companies grew in a time of recession. So recessions are also the best time to invest. So let's clean up our house so that we can lure in more investment activity. Thank you. Then to the small seat.
Thank you, Representative Manny Castro. Floor is still open under miscellaneous. Ready? Okay, we move down to item number 18, announcements. Any announcements? Recognize Representative Malcolm Omar.
Thank you. And I just want to announce that today at 4 p.m. at the Caribbean Affairs Office, the proclamation signing for Cultural Heritage Month, and on behalf of the Offices of Indigenous Affairs and Caribbean Affairs, we like to, if everyone is welcome, and if everyone has time, please swing by for the proclamation signing that will celebrate Cultural Heritage Month in the month of September. They have a full calendar of events, and if we can in any way support their events and just celebrating our cultures that make up the CNMI, the indigenous cultures, and also to celebrate with them together. And also ongoing, the first Labor Day tournament, softball tournament, kicked off last night at the Tanco baseball field at the Oliai Sports Center. The games are through Sunday with a closing banquet on Sunday, featuring local talents and the softball superstars. So if you guys have time, swing by and watch the games. And I also want to thank all the members who co-sponsored in any way donations to the team or to the event itself. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues.
Thank you, Representative Malcolm Omar. Representative Marissa Flores.
Thank you. I can see across me that Rep Yangtamai and I are trying to figure out who's going to go first. So I try to raise my hand when someone else is talking. But Rep TJ always beats us on the miscellaneous, on the announcement, on Happy Labor Day and all this other stuff going on. So Rep TJ, thank you for taking the lead. But I'd also like to take this time to thank everyone in the private sector, in the government, in the workforce, for your continued dedication and commitment to making our Commonwealth better. We are appreciative and of your services. We appreciate you. We know that times are hard, but let's work together. Let's continue to be un Marianas. And happy Labor Day to all of you. Sizus Masi, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ayun.
Thank you, Representative Marissa Flores. Representative Yanktamai.
Thank you, Speaker. No, I was just gonna announce Rep Manny. Sorry, I was looking for the announcement that he was gonna make. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Representative Julie Ogle.
Thank you, Speaker. And also, I would like to wish the Sinamay a happy Labor Day and stay safe. And also, I would like to extend those domestic engineers at home, even though they're not in the workforce, but they are also recognized as contributing to the labor. In addition to that, I would like to wish the team in Saipan that arrived yesterday, Team Luta, for the first annual Sinamay Labor Weekend tournament, softball tournament. I wish you all good luck, but most of all, enjoy yourself. Also, I would like to extend to the 5 teams in Las Vegas from Rhoda. There are Irrespect, Commonwealth Queridos, Chet Luta, Manet Luta, Manhita. Those are the 5 teams from representing Rhoda at the 19th annual Cinema Labor Day weekend. Have fun and enjoy. And then last but not least, if anyone is planning to have a weekend getaway, Rhoda is going to be having its 8th annual Rhoda Coconut Festival on September 6th and 7th. So come down and try the coconut crab pie. Just kidding. Thank you.
Wow, coconut crab pie. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Any further under announcements? Are we ready? Okay, and with that, I recognize the floor leader for adjournment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I make a motion that we adjourn, subject to the call of the chair. So move.
All right, a motion has been made for adjournment and has been seconded. Any discussions? Ready? All in favor to adjourn, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Session's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.